So, Sam, and I once turned down a job offer that paid 20% more, not because I had a better offer, but because God said, wait. Everyone around me thought I was mad. My colleagues said I was throwing away my future. But God has His plans. We live in a world that prizes strategy. Every career talk you attend teaches you to be smart, strategic, future-proof. We're trained to plan. Run a SWOT, look at ROI, chase that upward curve. And believe me, I'm wired that way too. I love Excel sheets with multiple tabs and 12-color formatting. But here's the thing. When you let God be CEO of your career, you will face moments where His instructions do not make sense. It's not that God is against growth, but His goal is deeper than our KPIs. He's after our heart, our obedience, our trust. Let me take you back to one such moment. Years ago, I was with an insurance company. Let's call her the Red Lady. One day, a big group of colleagues, my tribe name, decided to move to a competitor. And they even created a customized role for me at the new firm. On paper, it was a golden move. But as I prayed, I sensed God say clearly, and stay put. I fought it. Honestly, I kicked up a big fuss in prayer, like a child denied a favorite toy. But God said no, and with much hesitation, I obeyed. The aftermath? Chaos. My tribe left, and those who remained looked at me with suspicion, like a traitor. I was caught in a vacuum with no allies. My reputation took a hit. But quietly, God was working behind the scenes. Because I stayed, I got a chance to enter a new space, business intelligence. The Red Lady was one of the first in our sector to form a dedicated analytics team, separate from marketing. And I discovered I loved it. Data, patterns, customer insights. More importantly, it paved the road to the career I now thrive in. Obedience didn't feel like strategy. But in hindsight, it was the best move I never planned. It reminded me of Gideon in Judges 7. He had 32,000 men to fight the Midianites, not a massive army, but a decent shot. Then God says, too many. Cut it to 10,000, then to 300. From a military strategy perspective, this was suicide. But God wasn't trying to build confidence in Gideon's strength. He wanted Israel to know, victory comes from me, not your numbers. And they won, not by might, not by numbers, but by obedience. Fast forward a few years. After nearly 7 years with the Red Lady, I wanted out. I told God, I'm ready. He replied, wait till you finish this project. The problem was the project wasn't even mine. It belonged to a colleague who had no intention of leaving. I laughed it off. I thought, God, are you sure? Then, surprise, there was an issue. The colleague resigned. And as the utility player, I was tasked to take over and complete it. I remembered what God said and gave my all. Once I wrapped up the project, I came across a job opening, business analyst with the red hexagon. I applied casually. Didn't expect much. It was a huge leap from insurance into banking. But not only did I get the first interview, I got the job, no second or third rounds. I was offered the role while driving back from Malacca after a family trip, and it was 2 levels higher than my current position. Within 6 months, I was promoted again. In just 1 year, I'd climbed 3 tiers. I felt that I really had left my Egypt and entered a land flowing with milk and honey. Obedience wasn't logical, but it brought blessing. It's not just my story. Chick-fil-A closes every Sunday, and the fast food business, that's madness. Weekends are gold mines, especially for a fast food company. Yet they're one of the most profitable per unit chains in the US. Why? They honor God. And God honors obedience. But in Southeast Asia, that's not easy. Disobeying groupthink can be seen as disloyal. Turning down an offer might mean you lose face. I've been told, Sam, in banking, if you don't have a tribe, your survival rate is slim. But over the years, I've learned, I only need an audience of one God, and He never betrays. Abraham was told, go to the land I will show you. not go to X. Just go. That's faith. Walking without GPS. Trusting God without a 5-year plan. But in doing so, Abraham became the father of many nations. So let me ask you, is God asking you to say no to something that makes perfect sense on paper? Is he nudging you to stay when everyone's saying leave? Is he calling you to trust him with your career? It won't always make strategic sense, but it will always lead to eternal fruit. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Isaiah 55:8. Journal it. Pray over it. Fast if needed. And if you've ever had to choose faith over strategy, share your story in the comments. Your testimony might encourage someone else today. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Sam from A Revolving Door. I fired myself to let God be my CEO.